are humans really
Meant to be
be
I don't think
committed
so.
to one person, one sexual partner for the rest of their lives?
I don't
Which
believe.
I think circling back
You
to...
don't believe in monogamy?
Oh my god, can I say that I actually got married before?
Don't lie.
No, really. So my last relationship was my longest one, 5 years. And we BTO and everything.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Joey.
I'm Nick.
I'm Q, and back by popular demand, we have Louis.
Yay!
He was on Playbook.
You'll remember him as one of Q's potential love interests.
Not potential. So, between the last episode, the Playboy episode, and now, we actually got married, divorced, everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Went through the whole process.
wow.
That's why we are talking about today's topic,
Yeah.
right?
And
That's what brought me
actually,
here.
they had a baby.
We had a baby.
And she grew up damn fast, and I'm their love child.
Yeah.
And Nick is...
No, okay, you can leave me out of this. But before we get into the topic of the day, Louis, do you want to introduce yourself properly first?
Hello, I'm Louis. I'm a model and freelance production crew member, whatever you want to call it. I do everything, and in this economy, you got to diversify.
Okay, and today's topic, like what Q hinted at, it's about why Singaporeans no longer want to get married.
Do you relate to this? I mean, sorry, not to you,
Yeah,
not for you guys.
we can't relate because once again, we are married, but
not to each other.
Yeah.
Married, single. Married, single. What about all of your thoughts on marriage when you all were younger?
Oh my god, can I say that I actually got married before?
Don't lie.
No, really. I got married on Maple Story.
Louis,
God,
we are-
Louis.
this is the last time Louis is going to be on it.
Actually, you know, I always wanted to get married on Maple Story.
If you watched the previous episode I was on, right, I talked about how Shrek taught me a lot of life lessons.
Yeah.
Maple Story taught me a lot of life lessons as well. I'm not even kidding you. I was just thinking like, if I get married on this game, there's so many benefits that you can reap from. Like you can get this unique chat label ring. You can get so many rewards. I was thinking like, so marriage equates to rewards. Which I feel like somehow it
That's interesting.
it equates to real life.
I couldn't afford to get married on Maple. So actually quite realistic to real life also.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford to get married.
You must,
Because you
just
must-
use A-cash.
you must
You must
pay-
use
Oh,
A-cash.
right,
You must buy the
forgot about
cash,
that.
buy
Okay.
the wedding package, and then you must...
Yeah, it was damn expensive.
Super
Quite
expensive.
realistic, actually.
Okay,
But
anyway.
back to the question, I think growing up, I always thought that marriage was like an end goal. Like marriage means happily ever after. And to me, it's like having a family was the dream lah. Yeah. But then obviously you grow up and then in adulthood you see all the not so nice stuff about marriage.
Actually, last time every time they ask me like, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? I would say I want to be a mom. So my plan was always married by 25, first kid by 30. I was always very excited to fall in love and then find the right person and get married.
Yeah.
For me, I was always like, yeah.
Don't need.
I think it is an expression of deeper commitment. That's all. It's not like I didn't really put marriage on a pedestal or anything like that. Lah.
So to set some context, last year a Straits Times article came out saying that 7 in 10 young Singaporeans feel it's not necessary to marry, but most still want to. 52% of respondents aged 21 to 34 agree that it's not necessary to get married, yet 68% foresee themselves getting married. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, if I think about it from a very practical and like policy focused point of view, right? The only reason to get married is if you plan to have children, because then you would form a traditional family nucleus which qualifies you for certain kind of government benefits, grants, and makes you more eligible for these things lah. But if you don't plan to have kids, right, then it's really just a piece of paper.
Then how come you get married?
So I like the experience of a wedding where like friends come together,
To
celebrate kind of like your love, and then you publicly declare to all of your friends that I marry you. But I felt that the ROM part, right, the official ROM part, like sign the papers and all that, don't really need. And actually, right, I've been hearing from a lot of people also in our age group who are kind of like just into their relationships or have been together for quite a while already, right? They are doing the weddings, but then they are not signing the ROM, right? So that they can apply for 2 HDB.
And like you say, if they don't intend to have kids, right, then legally there's no real reason you should get married. Because I feel like humans, we crave stability, ma.
Yeah.
And with marriage, I guess it just proves that your relationship is stable. And then with that stability, you get like all this good stuff from the government.
But also, there are a lot of benefits to marriage, like if they pass away and you get to choose how their bodies are disposed, what to do with their organs. So as a spouse, you can honor your partner's wishes because by law, the marriage gave you that right. So there is that aspect to it that I feel a lot of people often overlook.
But Singapore, you can nominate power of attorney. Right?
You can nominate, but not a lot of people do that before they die. Like, you know what I mean? What if it's accident, for example?
No, but don't you think this is such a modern day problem? Like last time when people in Singapore get married, it's just like to get a house. You know, so simple back then. You don't think of like, oh, who's gonna sign off on my body if I die? That kind of thing.
Yeah, you
it's more of just
wouldn't
like
think so
you
far
don't think
ahead
so
lah,
far. You
yeah.
just think like, oh, okay, I want to get married to this person so I can get a house, start a family.
Yeah.
And I think back then, starting a family is the main
Is the
Singaporean
main
dream.
goal? Is the dream? Yeah.
Another aspect is also your global positioning. Like if your partner is not of the same nationality and you want to continue living together, unfortunately, the most convenient thing is to get married.
Correct.
And we have
Agreed.
people who use this for years and years now, visa marriages, and it's becoming very difficult now to prove that your relationship is legit lah. But that is also another reason why people do get married. I'm a child of divorce, and I have a lot of friends who are children of divorce too. And ironically, a lot of my friends who are very against marriage, they're like, because of my parents, I've seen it in my aunts, my grandparents, like marriage is just a construct. It's literally just a piece of paper. I will never sign it. Because what's the point? At the end of the day, it's the commitment. So when people break the promise anyway, they are the first ones to get married. And like, this has happened twice. And I'm like, that's crazy. So I think, yes, it's true that the divorce rates are getting higher, but I also think that it's not because marriage as a construct is failing, but I think it's because we have the privilege now to walk away from marriages. Women have education now and they are able to fend for themselves. So that's why it is okay to walk away. And also now it's more common, it's less frowned upon in the family, right?
But jumping back on the after effects of being a child of divorce, right? Because I feel like it can go
Both ways.
both ways, whereby you want to prove your parents and yourself wrong that marriage actually works, or you could be so scarred and traumatized by your parents' marriage.
Exactly.
So I actually dated someone who didn't believe in marriage, and then that was the reason for why we ended things. And it was a continuous conversation about like, if it's just a piece of paper to you, then why you don't want to just do it? Because to me, it's a symbol.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
symbol lah. It's an act of like commitment ma.
Yeah.
Do you all feel that like it should be two separate things, the wedding and getting married and the ROM in terms of signing legal documentation?
Yeah, I think they
I
can
think they
be
are
separate. I
separate.
wouldn't say should be, but it can be separate. It's just that a lot of people put the signing right before the wedding, but there are also a lot of people who ROM in an intimate setting with just friends and family. The wedding is like years later.
Yeah. The banquet is like years later.
And technically, you can also do the banquet or the party or the wedding as a public declaration of your love, but you don't sign.
I feel like the refusal to sign and the refusal to commit legally itself is a bit suspicious.
It reflects on your intentions, and it almost feels like you want to have an exit plan. If they say that it's just a piece of paper, then it is a bit contradicting.
But I do think that there are a lot of people that just kind of want to go against the grain. They make being contrarian their entire personality. Then like, I'm a bit edgy, I don't believe in marriage.
I know, I feel like the just a piece of paper thing works the same as like a degree, right? If you relate it to, having a degree and going out into the workforce, you can or may not choose to use your degree. And you can still progress in the workforce based on your experience, right? Just like how if you're married, the cert just opens more doors for you.
And there are still jobs that if you don't have the degree, you don't even get into the interview. So if you are not, if you don't care for those opportunities, then actually it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And also I think it's very interesting how Q mentioned her experience with a partner who doesn't have the same view of marriage as her. Because for me, right, I have a lot of friends who come from divorced parents. And then I feel like that skewed their perception of marriage to a certain extent. My parents are like happily married. Like they are like the sweetest old couple that you can ever meet. And then I feel like that kind of set the bar for me as well when it comes to like relationships and marriage. Because I feel like I want what they're having. But based on like my past relationships, it's like two of my past relationships were also not divorced, but like you can tell that they're just settling for each other, which I think is very common for a lot of the pioneer generation. Like they just settle because they'll say things like, yeah, the children's so old already, like divorce for what?
Yeah.
It just further
The
complicates
parents
things.
of your previous partners.
Yeah,
lah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I feel like that also kind of like me and my ex, my most recent ex, right? We had very different views on marriage because of that.
I do feel that like not wanting to get married or like not subscribing to the idea of marriage for the sake of like, oh, I feel like it puts unnecessary pressure on us is a bit of a cop-out lah.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're not ready for the pressure law. Then you're
Correct.
just using it as an excuse, which there's nothing wrong with also. But like, I it's very obvious when it's the latter, when people just cannot commit.
But actually, I was also quite surprised by the statistic because I feel like nowadays, right, the norm is people in our local unis, right, haven't even graduate yet. They
Yeah.
already
already
like
BTO.
Oh my God.
BTO already.
Oh my God, that's crazy. You know, a lot of my friends, more than I expected, are actually getting married. I don't know, it's just crazy to me. It's
Yeah.
like how we are living such different lives.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like maybe their frontal lobe haven't formed yet.
I feel like my frontal lobe
Still
is
forming?
gone.
Oh, gone.
It's like non-existent.
Oh, what happened?
Gone
Oh,
already.
what happened,
Like fly away
man?
already. Don't know
Aiyo.
where.
So sometimes I talk to like younger people, right? Then they'll just be like, oh yeah, I think like the main motivation to ROM or get married, right, is the
Yes,
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they kiasu, like I scared I lose out.
Which is also something that a lot of people are always discussing online, right? Like they don't want to do the BTO before being proposed to because like in Singapore, the romance is gone.
It does take that special element out of it. It's kind of like, okay, we're gonna have to do it anyway, so yeah.
So my last relationship was my longest one, 5 years. And we BTO and everything.
Eh, why you laugh?
No,
It's like you know.
literally like we BTO. So like we
How
were.
far into BTO were you?
So okay,
Pay the
luckily,
19K.
No, haven't yet. So we just got the ballot, but we haven't chose the unit.
The act of doing it, was it scary?
It was scary because I was too like spontaneous in jumping into it. Because every Singaporean dream like get married BTO, and a lot of my friends around me were like getting BTOs and getting married. And I'm like, we're together for so long, so it's time to consider the next step,
Yep.
So I think I kind of rushed into it, and I think it was through the planning process of it all where we realized that maybe we are moving a bit too fast, and we have very different views on marriage also. So I think that affected that quite a fair bit.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting that you all managed to reach that stage, even though she's so apprehensive about being married though. How you convince her? You better get married to me.
No, I think that there are a lot of people who just dissociate. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah,
dissociate the
idea.
BTOing
Yes.
from the marriage.
Yes,
Until they
yes.
realize that I think they don't realize that it comes hand in hand until it
Then they
starts to
scared
happen.
after
Then they
that.
cold feet.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like a lot of these things, right? You cannot really go into prepared. Also, you don't really go into.
You can't lah.
You can't. It's like having a
impossible.
kid. Like you can never be prepared.
Another interesting point specific to Singapore, right, is that once you get married, the women are automatically protected under the Women's Charter Act, which comes in very handy for situations where, touch wood, she's being taken advantage of, whether via domestic abuse or he's cheating or assets are involved and children are involved. The Women's Charter Act basically protects women in this aspect. Unfortunately, if the coin is flipped and the woman is the aggressor, it still applies.
Yeah.
So then they will have to come to something that is mutually agreed upon lah.
The interesting thing also is that apparently in Singapore, prenuptial agreements do not apply. The Women's Charter supersedes any prenuptial agreements. So even you have a prenup that says that like if we divorce, right, you take 50%, I take 50%, everything split evenly, right? If you do get divorced, under the Women's Charter Act, the woman can still kind of like, I'm going to come for everything.
Yeah, but it still has to be mutually agreed upon lah. So lawyers are present to ensure that both parties sign off. How they get to that sign off, we don't know lah. But there are also apparently other legal benefits, quote unquote, with like if you are married, then your insurance premiums might be lowered. Apparently there's like lower premiums for males also if you are married.
I mean, there are some small incentives lah, like tax rebates and all that also. Like your wives get tax reliefs from your husband serving NS and all that lah.
But isn't it so sucky to look at marriage like, oh, what can I benefit from financially?
It's like his Maple story.
Yeah, but no, that's why I think that it really should be two parts. There's like the legal and like systemic kind of part of marriage, and then there is the public declaration of love.
I've always seen it as the latter. Like, to me, marriage is more like a commitment between the two people. I never really thought about the legal side of things.
Yeah, I feel like it's the most romantic act.
Yeah. So we've been a bit serious. So we have a couple of Reddit stories to lighten the mood a bit.
Okay.
It's a Reddit episode in disguise.
Yes, maybe we should let Louis read one of them.
Oh my god, yes.
First story. As someone who is unable to get married, I can only say that I do want to get married if it means I get to enjoy legal recognition of my relationship with my partner, benefits and such. Without marriage, I still can have a life and future together with my partner. We can live together with our own private space, with pets, etc. In essence, what this has taught me is that marriage is merely societal expectation and not a must for a relationship to thrive or for having a future. Not that marriage is bad, but that I don't need it if there are no legal benefits to get married.
Speaking of, I do have some friends who are very much in love, but their hesitation around getting married, right, is not because they're afraid of commitment, but because they know the moment they choose to get married, their families will get too involved and they do not want to deal with it, like how your wedding should be, how your marriage should be. No, you're not allowed to do this. And I have friends, actually right now, they're dealing with it, where the mom of the groom is like, if you don't do it this way, I don't approve of the wedding. I don't approve of the marriage.
Yeah.
Because you're disrespecting the way I brought you up, which is a bit intense because as a child, you will always still want the approval from your parents. This will sour the relationship with your parents. You're putting now the in-law, the daughter-in-law, in a very difficult place because it's like, we have to listen to your mom. If not, I will never be accepted. And then all the family reunions will be so difficult.
There's also the added element of like once you are married, then some of these traditional families, they will start pressuring you to have kids lah. So then not having the wedding or getting married is also another way to circumvent that. That you haven't even get married yet, why you want me to have kids for what?
Actually, why not just say you're impotent?
I got think about that
Can
before.
lie can lie
As in like Chinese New Year, if the auntie just like
我不行, then you just start crying.
just say 我这个没有用，
这个没有用，
这个没有
可以用，可是没有东西出来。
上不了，
没有东西
上不了，
出来
就是一直
空的，
想
是空的。
啊是空的。Then what can they say?
As in, I think they can't say anything, but maybe it's also frowned upon, or rather, like they will judge you for
But
not
why is
being.
it so frowned upon? Why is
Because last time-
impotency frowned upon?
Last time, the
Paiseh mah.
older
Toxic
generation,
masculinity
right?
mah.
No, even for women, if you're not able to conceive,
what
right?
good are you, right?
You are nothing. Like you are not
Yeah.
useful to society.
Okay, next one. I know or heard from friends of at least 5 people who married because they wanted a BTO to get away from their parents. They loathed their partners, but it was that or their mental health or homelessness. Most ended in messy divorces. The only thing that came to mind now is how many seem to think marriage is the end goal and not the start of a journey. That somehow just having someone tied to you is preferable to being alone. A mindset which the younger gen seems to be more aware of and know to avoid than mine.
I agree, but actually, I think it's also quite interesting to see that there is a strong motivating factor, right, to get married or to not get married based on housing. So the people who want to get married, a lot of it is because I want to BTO together with my partner. The people who don't want to get married, a lot of it is because, oh, I want to go and buy 2 HDB together. Like, I want to go and buy 2 HDB, one myself and one like under my partner's name.
But then there's the middle ground. Like
Then-
I
then-
don't really hear much about the buying 2 HDB one.
Yeah, I don't hear that at all actually.
No, because it is a loophole that people exploit
No, I don't
quietly.
have friends who are like that.
Do you think it's possible that because divorce is so
Common.
easy and common and accepted in society now, that they don't mind getting married for property because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, they can just get a divorce?
Yeah, and then I think they will look at it as it will still be profitable.
I think a lot of people see divorce as like more like an option these days. Like it's not as frowned upon.
It's like a refund lah.
Yeah, which is quite sad lah.
Yeah.
Because back to the symbolism of marriage, I think they see divorce as a breakup law.
This story, right, I think what stood out for me was the marriage. People see marriage as the end goal and not the start of a journey. So then you don't really think about like, oh, after that, then how?
What comes after marriage, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Because I think for me, right, it was when Jess and I were dating, the thing that I was the most eager about, right, was that I can call her my wife. Which to me is like, because wife hits different from girlfriend.
Yeah,
you know.
okay, which I want to mention that marriage is basically a larger version of calling someone your partner or boyfriend or
Yeah.
girlfriend, because right, if you're in a situationship, how do you explain to people? Like, I'm in a situationship, we've been dating for a while, but we're nothing. So to me, right, marriage is a title and it's a way to kind of solidify what you are.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really like big way to show commitment, but also it's a really big way to build trust. Because now this person is willing to legally be bound to you. Because girlfriend, boyfriend, breakup is literally just a word. But marriage, there are a lot of things that are now intertwined, like assets also, right? You will feel more assured as a person in your relationship because of that trust.
So you all feel that the bar to call someone your husband or wife must be legal lah.
Yes.
Because of the social construct.
So for example now, right, if there is a couple that can't get married in a certain country because of certain laws, but then they throw a party and they say that this is our wedding, and then they start calling each other, this is my husband or this is my wife.
That is their story.
Do you all feel that is negated?
To me, I think that is their own version
Their
of
own truth.
their
Right?
own
Yeah,
truth.
yeah.
To me,
Okay.
okay, I might not validate it from my perspective, but that's their life, ma. But to me, I feel that having it being legally bounded, right, is what solidifies my relationship.
I know of people who are married overseas, like in Taiwan, they went to get married, and in Singapore, legally, they are not married. But to me, it's the same thing as if I get married in America and I don't register my marriage in Singapore. The difference is that the country will recognize mine and not theirs. But as a person, I will recognize that they are a couple lah.
But then I feel like if that's the case, right, then you can just get married in like your bedroom with just two of you.
Can
Yeah lah.
Because it still wouldn't be considered.
I understand that. Yeah, so for me, the difference is if it's a straight couple doing this fake marriage, then like, okay, have fun. But you guys have a real option, you're not taking it. And so for a queer couple, because they have zero option, if they hold a wedding, which a lot of them do actually in Singapore, like a private, close-knit party, I 100% would then honor your celebration as such. But because there's literally no option for you to take.
But I guess that's why also even within the LGBT community, there is a differing view on people who actually they have the means to and the money to fly overseas to go and get married, but they choose not to, versus the people who feel so strongly about like, I want to get married in Singapore lah.
Sometimes I just feel like Singaporeans or people in general, we just overcomplicate things also.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes marriage, you don't have to think so deep.
Oh yeah, I also
right?
think so.
Yeah, it's
Like-
not deep to me lah.
Like to me, like not overcomplicating things will really help you not stress so much in life. Because if you think about all these things like legal stuff, like housing, blah blah blah, you're gonna think, then you're gonna overthink, and then at the end of the day, you're just gonna like stall, which is what happens to me lah. Like I'll just stall because it's like just too many thoughts. Like
Yeah.
And also, if you start thinking of a divorce, right, before getting married, right, you're already anticipating that it could be an option.
Yeah.
You're manifesting
Jinx.
it to
You're like jinxing it.
potentially happen.
Okay, so actually, right, it seems like across different age groups, the main reasons for not dating or not getting married is that people have not met the right person and that they prefer to remain single versus settling, which I feel like actually maybe the older generation, when the days of arranged marriages, right, don't need to be so compatible. We learn how to be compatible.
Oh my god, this is my conversation with all the Grab uncles. They always ask me, 你结婚了没有? Have you gotten married? Then I'm like, no. Then they're like, you should be still quite young, right? Then I'm like, no, I'm 30 already. Then they're like, 没有时间了. Like, there's no more time.
And they always just insinuate, why so picky? Y'all
Yeah.
will never
Yeah.
find the perfect person.
Correct.
Just find someone good, healthy, got job, then can
Like,
already.
loyal can already. Then to me, I was like, I always tell them in Mandarin, like, 我不要随便结婚. Like, I don't want to 后悔, I don't want to regret. So, to them, right, it's really just bare minimum.
You know, every Grab I ride, I'm a different person.
Eh?
Like I live a different life.
Okay.
So like
Some
one
days
day
is
I'm
Liam.
some days I'm Liam, some days I'm Lionel. So like some days I'm happily married with 3 kids.
Oh my god, you lie ah.
I just talk because they like some great uncles very chatty, right?
Yeah.
Just entertainment lah.
You know nowadays got the quiet right function.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So
I
like,
didn't know.
Sometimes I don't know, but like sometimes just like just wanna, it's so
Okay.
interesting. Live a different life every day.
But anyway, I do believe in waiting for the right person lah, and not just settling because you feel the need to have the benefits.
Yeah, yeah.
And also just to prove a point that,
But no, then again, right, waiting for the right person is a bit like iffy to me also, which is why I'm not like rushing into marriage. Because like 5 years of my past relationship was like a long time. And in that time frame of 5 years, I really thought that she was the right person. But I feel like through time, a lot of things can change. You can change as a person. A lot of your views can change. Maybe even your morals can change.
but y'all must change together and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
evolve
so
and grow together as a couple.
You got to
mah.
grow together. Your mindset has to like merge as one. And as long
Yeah.
as one goes a little bit out of the way, it's going to snowball.
that's why I think a lot of people who married early ended up in divorce because they haven't found their true identity yet. They don't really know what their long-term plan is yet. At 23 or 24, you want to get married, right? But then at 31, right, your goals
You might
start to
want
change.
different
You are
things.
totally
Yeah.
different people. So that's
Yeah.
why I think you gotta wait it out a little
You know,
bit.
every 7 years, your whole body's anatomy changes. So
Yeah,
every
yeah.
7 years,
Or your cells are replaced.
Yeah.
you're a completely different person biologically.
But that said, I feel like at 23, if you feel like you've met the love of your life and in your entire body, you really want to just be with this person, don't for the sake of what you hear on the internet to wait, just go and
Yeah.
wait. Like if let's say at 35 you decide it's not working out, then it's not working out. Like honor your truth, obviously with caution and think it through. It's the same thing like what we're doing, right? We don't want to get married based on a construct that was set by society, by like older generation standards. In the same way, you don't want to just defy what's happening now just to hold back. Like if it works for you, it works. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, it doesn't.
So sometimes you see people like see how, then they like see how for like very
See
long.
what?
Forever.
What are
right?
you
Yeah.
seeing?
That's me. Yeah. Like I just be seeing.
But so then do you all think that our generation in general views emotional connection and compatibility more importantly than legal commitment?
For me, yes lah.
Yes,
For me,
I do
yes.
think so. I think a lot of our generation, we witnessed firsthand at home the repercussions of incompatibility in a marriage. And because of that, we are so on the opposite end of like, if we are not happy, it's not going to work because it will trickle down to your families. But there is always middle ground, right? You cannot be like, okay, we emotionally are so happy, but then like we cannot finance together, we cannot like property together. But never mind, like we happy what? Like you can't do that also, right?
Actually, I feel like maybe the older generation also, there was an element of practicality to it, because last time it used to be that there was a sole breadwinner. So then marriage was also a way for the homemaker to protect themselves in terms of being taken care of should the marriage go kind of like astray lah.
And also, I think a lot of the olden day couple, like there's some medieval people, right? No, a lot of the pioneer generation, they get married just so they can start a family. And with starting a family, they have the intention of the kids supporting them when they get old. Which is, I think, should that be the case?
The investment of like having children.
It's your retirement plan lah.
Yeah lor.
Yeah, but it's perspective, right? Okay,
It's
I
all
do
perspective.
feel like there are a lot of modern day couples who had the traditional wedding. They did everything by what maybe Chinese tradition would be. And then years after, so I've met at least 2 couples like that, I realized they've been open this whole time.
Oh my god! I also recently found out there are some couples that are very
Right?
open.
So I didn't know. And I always thought that if you get married, it means you are quite typical, stereotypical monogamy. Because what else would you get married?
Open means what? They swing.
Yeah, so they
So is
swing.
it just sex?
yeah.
No, so they at the end of the day, they are committed to each other. They love each other. They come home. They stay with each
But outside got
other.
girlfriend and boyfriend?
But they approve of having relations outside as long as at the end of the day you come home here.
But what is relations? Like just sex?
sex.
I mean,
Sexual-
it could be sex. It
yeah.
could be like whatever. I think
This
every
is my girlfriend.
No,
the
usually it's
difference-
sex. Usually
yeah,
it's sex.
the difference is that it is different with every couple because your boundaries are different. As human beings, we're different, right? But isn't that in itself so interesting? Because I feel like at this couch we're all quite monogamous. I don't want to assume.
I mean,
Yeah.
but like the thought of it though.
A bit of a polyamorous vibe.
Yeah, no.
He does it. He does.
No, but I do feel like are humans really
Meant to
meant
be?
to be
I don't think
committed
so.
to one person, one sexual partner for the rest of their lives?
I don't
Which
believe.
I think circling back
You
to
don't believe in monogamy?
No,
no.
I believe in monogamy,
Yeah.
but I don't believe humans
We are
are
wired
meant to
to.
be.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like men possible to be polyamorous,
Hmm.
women not so much. So only because of our genetic makeup.
Actually, what's the science? I feel like there must have been some scientific
Let's
study.
invite a
No, because
scientist.
y'all can procreate. You can impregnate 5 women within 1 week.
Yeah.
Or one day.
1 month only. As in 9 months, then our shop close.
True. But then I think, so it's quite interesting that instinctively there are some societies that they support like kind of polyamory, and then other societies that are like monogamy only. Whereas I think in the animal kingdom, it's one or the other.
Actually, why not we normalize it? Like
what?
how
What
okay.
animal kingdom?
No.
Like what polyamory?
say?
Okay, so maybe have one person that you just have the
Legal relations
legal
with,
relations
No,
with.
but then that okay.
And
I
then-
thought you
and then you
say
separate it.
we overcomplicate things.
No, but like you separate it, you know, like sexual relationships.
But not
and
everyone
legal.
will believe in that and
Yeah,
Yeah lah.
lah,
Then
towards
the
that,
legal relations one, you will just pick the most like the richest partner that you can find.
But again, there's nothing wrong with that. Like at the end of the day, there are people who are not compatible, harmful to each other. They still choose each other to stay married. Then there are some people who are extremely compatible and they just don't want to get married. Like, and this is how you view life. This is how you view marriage. Because I feel like just based off our conversations today, right? There's different,
We are so different.
motivations for marriage. Some people see it as purely romantic. Some people see it as purely like financial. Some people see a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Like we all view it so differently. It's impossible to come to a black and white conclusion.
Yeah. Do you think that there is a right time to get married or right age to get married?
No,
no.
When it
So-
feels right
I
for
used to
you,
believe
So
that.
18
Yeah.
can. 18 can. 21 can.
18.
What's to say that a
Yeah,
21-year-old's
what's
marriage
wrong?
will last shorter than a 35-year-old's
Correct.
marriage?
Yeah,
You know?
nothing wrong. I think there are also a lot of like TikTok stories of older seniors finding the right one at 56 or like 67.
Okay, so I have a great uncle. He actually married my aunt. So after my aunt passed away, right, he remarried at his ripe age of 80 and he got a kid with his new wife. And the new wife is like 60 plus, I think. I'm like quite impressed.
60 plus?
Yeah.
I'm more
His
impressed.
thing
Wait,
is-
the 60 plus how to...
他的东西, his thing still
No, the
working.
东西
His
is
thing,
crazy.
his thing
It's
never
not
mind.
about her,
His
it's
thing
about
is
her.
her thing.
60 plus, how she can?
Actually, I'm not sure if 60 plus. I've never
maybe
met
she's
her.
30.
Actually,
Maybe
it's
40
not
plus.
impossible, but
Or
it's
never
a
put
very...
sunscreen.
60 plus not impossible because maybe her menopause is like she may not stop.
She may not.
A bit irresponsible, I feel.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I guess the answer is no, there is no right time.
There is no right time.
You
There's
do
no right
you.
time.
You do you.
Actually, very
You
cute
should.
when I see the older couples that get married. Like recently, one of our members of parliament, Sylvia Lim,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Was she
yeah.
very
married.
married?
Yeah.
Very cute.
I love the ones where like they meet in a home or like they meet their high school sweetheart because both their partners are dead and then they like,
It's like come
finally
full circle,
reunite.
Question part.
If you could BTO without getting married, would you get one with your best friend? But I want to get married and I want to live with Charlie. No.
Okay. You just love Charlie so much.
Yeah.
What is the most Singaporean proposal? BTO. Like literally how my parents proposed.
BTO, I
Want to
might.
get a house? They didn't say like, will
That's
you
quite
marry me?
Singaporean lah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a fully paid for wedding or an all expense paid solo trip to anywhere in the world? Fully paid for wedding. The fully wedding quite expensive.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I can do a few. I can do a
Holidays.
few
A few honeymoons.
like
right?
solo trips or honeymoons.
Especially
Very
want to do
true.
all the way.
If there was a Bachelor Singapore version, would you join it? No.
You kind of did.
Right, let's do it together again.
Going on the dating episode was already painful for me, not because of the men there. No, they were great. It's more like the idea of putting myself out there and being judged.
Wow.
I couldn't even be myself. You know, Ida was actually
She
telling
was
me,
very
like,
stressed.
she was like, Q, you're not being your true self. Like, you are usually funnier than this. Then I'm like, I'm so stressed. Like, I don't know how to behave.
She was really very
Yeah.
stressed.
I would love to be on a.
We said before
Yeah.
already. Yeah, but you are
Okay.
married,
But
so
ideally not, because when I'm watching Love Island USA on TikTok now, right, everyone's getting flamed. So scary.
Is that the one that got the guy that keep mewing?
Oh wait, I
Oh
think
yes, yes,
no,
yes.
he was on
no,
the
he's the one that had
yeah.
a show. Yeah.
Yeah, show before.
Anyway, let's hop back to the episode.
So I'm just gonna change the pace a little bit. Okay, let's hear from the married people right now.
Okay.
Me and Luis. Just
Yes.
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
Married and
so why
divorced.
did you guys choose to get married? And why is it important to you?
I wanted to kind of solidify like my commitment to Jess and like to her, and also to kind of like our friends and family, like let people know that I am making the ultimate promise and commitment to you. And then I think even from when we were dating quite early on, I was already quite eager and excited and always looking forward to like, I can't wait to call you my wife.
I feel the same way. Like I've always viewed marriage as like the ultimate commitment to somebody, how you establish that trust and you literally with your actions show them that you love them lah. But for us, we have that other aspect of the geographical side of things where we come from different countries. So this marriage also helps us live in the same place, whether be it Singapore or wherever we want to go to next. Being married will help us lah.
What about if you found the right partner, would you consider marrying them? And
Of
actually,
course.
have you put in any kind of checks and balances into what is the right partner?
I feel like the key indicators of whether this person will be right for me is I feel safe with them. My nervous system is great around them. And generally, maybe similar lifestyle. I do believe that having a similar lifestyle will kind of create a happier marriage because you get to do a lot of things together. I find, especially my parents are very different people. And I see that. And I kind of don't want that. Because like my mom wants to travel and my dad doesn't want to. My dad plays mahjong, she hates it. So I will never be happy in that kind of relationship.
Do you think opposites attract?
I mean, I think
I
naturally.
think in certain things.
In certain things, right?
I
Cannot
think
be
you can't be
everything.
opposites in like
Everything.
It's
fundamental
a
beliefs.
oversimplification lah. I
Yeah.
feel.
That's true. That's true.
I think the reason why opposites attract is because it makes you curious.
Yeah.
Like it's intriguing.
I feel like opposites only attract personality wise.
Correct.
Like if anything else, lifestyle differences, right, cannot. I feel like for me, it has to be similar lifestyles and similar morals and views on things like money, views on things like love. Because do you all feel like marriage is fully sustainable on love?
Nope,
No.
No.
not at all.
Like financially, like there's so many aspects to it that contributes to like a successful marriage.
Yeah.
Like what you said, love is not enough to sustain. And the longer you stay married, like what Nick said, like people don't really think about life after marriage. The rush and the adrenaline and the butterflies cannot sustain a marriage. And especially if you're looking to die together, you will have to go through a lot of things, not just with health, but lifestyle habits. And they always say that the thing that you find like quirky or interesting about them ends up possibly being the thing you hate the most about them, especially after breakup. The perspective shifts, right? And so I feel like personal experience, love, obviously important to have, but there's so much communicative work. But it also shouldn't feel like work all the time. Like the compromise will end up being a little bit fun because you're pushed out of your comfort zone to learn what life looks like from another person's point of view. Like you said too about finances, right? Like sometimes it's not just about wanting to get married. There are a lot of people who worry about the costs of getting married. Actually, is getting married very expensive?
If you want to cave into society's expectations of a wedding and
Yeah.
marriage, then quite lah.
Yeah.
It has become quite a toxic like ecosystem leh, I feel.
Yeah.
The ang pao culture inherently, I feel like it's not great. And the only ones kind of profiting from that are hotels and wedding venues.
Yeah.
Because nobody wins, ma. You as a guest, you end up having to pay more. As the bride and groom,
Your
you then
costs are
kind of like
high.
have to put out that initial cost. There's this weird social tension between you and your guests where your guests feel obliged to cover the cost of their seat. Then you also have a bit of an expectation that you should cover your seat. If not, then you stress about, like, I'm not going to be able to cover the cost of my
Not a
wedding.
good friend. And
Yeah.
also, can I just say, if you are like really close to people and then you end up being on the bridal party or the wedding party,
Yep.
there's a lot of money that you
Yeah.
are forking out.
Like the whole wedding day is put on a pedestal quite a bit. For me, I don't proclaim to speak for all men out there. If I don't kind of do it right, I feel that like, oh, I didn't give my bride the day that she deserved.
Like you feel like you failed.
Yeah. But then of course for mine I also quite like the vibe lah.
yeah.
But I feel like there will also be a bit of that pressure,
I think we need to
yeah.
separate like wedding and marriage, them different.
Marriage very affordable.
Yeah, so to ROM, it's $42 for Singapore citizens and permanent residents. If both of you are foreigners, it's $380.
It's quite affordable.
So even then, it's still very affordable.
$42 to get married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the divorce is like you add like more zeros.
God damn. For me, I wouldn't want such a big wedding. I don't even want a diamond ring. Yeah, like you give me a gemstone. Oh, I'm happy.
Actually this ring thing, like I find quite toxic also.
It's toxic when the girls are like, girl, you're worth more than that. You should know your worth.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not about my worth. I think it's totally fine if you want to be a princess and this is what you've worked through your whole life, right? You want to be princess, but then you don't go and tell people like, why do you
Correct.
look down on yourself?
These
Like
kind of
that's
people,
crazy.
No, they're just projecting.
The other thing also is that like as someone who works in the advertising industry, diamonds are like the biggest kind of most successful advertising case study, right? Because it's such a manufactured idea of scarcity. Like we talk about gold or like other kind of precious gems, right? That are legit like difficult to secure, right? Then sure, there's some inherent value. But diamonds, right? Like people, there are warehouses full of like diamonds, and then now they are like you can grow diamonds in a lab.
I was walking along Wisma. They got this banner 1-for-1 diamond ring.
Correct.
The hell?
But then now, right?
For your backup.
Now the advertising messaging has changed to kind of like shit on lab grown diamonds.
Yeah.
Because they just kind of want to keep the prices up lah. Like is this false idea of so rare. People who subscribe to that end up kind of like, pushing the very toxic narrative of why is he making you choose between a $10,000 honeymoon or a $10,000 diamond ring? Get you a man that can do both.
Off. Sorry.
No,
Wait. No, but because I was talking to my friends literally last night we were having a girls' night, and then they were talking about if I'm not sure whether I should expect him to get me a diamond ring, but actually that's not me. Like she was telling me that's not me, and she actually don't mind a gemstone, but because society paints it as if that if a man doesn't give you that, then he's not a provider ma. But then I was telling her that he can be a provider in other means. He can save so much money to give you a good honeymoon, to give you a good house, and then that will make you even happier. So I don't understand why we always feel the need to show off. As a man, right, I think you shouldn't feel the pressure to give a diamond ring if she has never conveyed it as well. So have that conversation, because like for example Nick, right, you feel this pressure to be like to give your wife what she
So I think
deserves.
I think the ring that I got was quite respectable.
Okay.
But I think no lah, as in it's not no, it's not super over the top. But I think there was definitely that inherent pressure also from the thought of like, when she go and meet her friends, then people ask to see the ring. Then it gets to you. And then the other part also is when you're having conversation with your bros. Then you're like, hey bro, where you get your ring from? That kind of thing.
Or it's like a reflection on who you are, is it? Or like your
so then
capability as a man.
I think as human beings and I say this as someone that I feel like I am relatively secure, as a guy, right? You will still feel a little bit of that pressure. So then to me it was like, okay lah, just get like
a solid one.
Okay.
Do you feel like the aspects of marriage, like let's say the rings and like the quality of the quality of the ring, the venue adds on to like how serious you are in your partner?
Not in the slightest.
No?
I would rather someone who like commits to me, is there for my need, can emotionally show up for me, communicate when they are there, and they just get a ring that I'm happy with. I'm done.
Actually, like on the contrary, right? I feel that after getting married, you probably spend a little bit less money.
I feel like it actually makes you more efficient.
Okay lah, if you are dual income.
Yeah,
especially.
And then birthday presents you can just split.
Yeah, you can show up as a couple. Oh, this is from us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, to Nick and Joey, how has marriage changed your relationship with your partners actually?
It is like a super, super fun, safe, secure boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Then now, right, it is an extra valid reason to get out of things. My wife waiting for me at home.
If you say girlfriend, then
yeah.
different.
When you say my girlfriend waiting for me at home, then it makes the girlfriend look a bit bad,
But my wife
waiting for me
want
is
to
like
do it.
I need to go home to go and like, you know.
You don't need a partner for that. You can just say my pet. My dog vomit.
Fair lah.
If someone tell me like, then I judge a bit.
Yeah, I also judge a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
Like,
it's
how you gonna
a-
ditch me for
your
dog?
dog that vomited. But can I just say, right, my biggest fear is that I'll get sick of this person.
Won't.
Like, if it's the right person, that I won't get sick of this person.
And I feel like also a lot of times it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you fear the fear of commitment because this person might not be the right person, right? Then that sows a lot of like doubt into your and your partner's mind also.
Self-manifested.
Like where are we going with this? You know?
Yeah. Okay, that was actually really deep. I didn't expect us to go and explore so many different areas of marriage. I think based on our conversation, it is clear that marriage is defined by you and your partner. It shouldn't be defined by other people around you. It truly is a sacred commitment. And as long as you and your partner are okay with it, that's all that matters. If you feel like you don't need to get married in order to feel fulfilled in your relationship, then screw what people say.
There's no like fixed way of marriage. Like, I feel like it really depends from person to person.
Yeah, couple to couple.
There's no fixed way of life, period.
Yeah.
As long as you're happy and the people you care about are happy, that's all that matters.
Thanks so much for watching this episode of The Hot Pot. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And thank you, star of Playbook reality dating show, Louis,
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is crazy. Like I've been watching the Hot Pot at home. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is
cute.
absolutely
And now you
insane.
can watch this also.
Now I can watch myself and dissociate and
love
pretend
it.
like what the hell is this guy talking
Slay.
about nonsense views.
And we'll
Yeah.
see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye. Louis is a proper model, by the way. The other day, I saw one of his posts. He like naked with a lot of girls.
Oh,
Yeah,
naked.
Naked?
naked
Full
and
on
afraid.
naked.
No lah, not naked.
Like topless.
Okay.
This past week, right, Jess is on a work trip. Then a bit
That's
Louis.
his personality now.
Yeah,
he
Jess
keeps
is on
saying
a work
that.
trip. I'm very lonely. Jess
I'm
is
a
on a work
house
trip.
husband, Loli.